Yeah, we're ready. Ready as we'll ever be.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Sky Valley Moms podcast.
Good morning.
We are excited to talk about this last week's Bible study. We went through the introduction video together. It was as 90s as we thought it was going to be.
Maybe a little tad bit 80s at the end, the tail a bit of 80s there.
Yeah, I really like Stormy is her name. And
very cute.
Yes, she doesn't look like she's 80. Is that what Amanda said? She's 80 or like 85?
Yeah, she's still
if
alive. I look like that when I'm 85, I am doing well.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh my goodness. It was kind of funny. We were all like, wait, is she actually alive? And Amanda had to Google it to make sure that she actually is alive. She is.
She is. She's doing well.
So
I hope.
But she went through a really great introduction of what to expect for this study and how to talk about certain things. And she got really hot and heavy fast.
To the nitty gritty, to the, disrespect, physical abuse, verbal abuse.
Abuse. What else? She had something else that she was talking about too. Like wanting to leave with kids and anger.
Sort of seemed extreme to jump in on, but those things not only are happening in our community, but they're also happening on smaller scales. You might not be just this extreme law and order case, but these things are happening in our
friend groups, in our communities, in different levels for sure.
Yes.
Verbal abuse, I feel like, is something
It's
that
a big one.
Is a big one.
It's a big one.
And
I'm
maybe
harsh with my words.
Yeah.
I am harsh with my words.
I was gonna say it's
not
not necessarily a male a male centered thing, although that's what we tend to think.
And that's sort of what she focused on.
Yeah.
But I know that personally that's one of my things on the quiz that I need to work on.
Yeah.
So
How we communicate. Yeah. Verbal abuse and emotional abuse, I think, was one of those things that we didn't I don't know if she really touched on emotional abuse because
she does get into it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like those two are pretty prevalent in our our particular society today, especially for millennials.
Yeah.
But because she definitely focuses on issues that are a little more back when when we were kids.
Yeah, like kids are out in the street, outside of the house, not, so things have shifted as a society, but
there's still really good things to talk about and to be reminded about. And we wanted to emphasize once again that if you are struggling heavily with one of those things, addictions, abuse, those type of things, please reach out to us. But if you don't think you are, that's okay too. We want to talk about the exciting things that are happening in your marriage too. We want to
in the mundane struggles. Okay?
Yes.
The little struggles that are the everyday that, I think somebody brought up a tooth, paste cap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
cap.
Those little things that get under your skin that, that accumulate over time, that create that resentment that you don't want in your marriage. Those are very big. I mean, mundane little things is probably most of what a marriage is, and it's a collection of that all together.
Yeah, even little things that aren't really, the toothpaste or the way that someone or the way that your husband and you are communicating back and forth, whether it's on your side or his side.
Household chores.
Yeah, chores. Oh, that's one that gets us.
It's a division of how you run your household. One might see it done this way, and somebody else doesn't really see that that's an issue. Then it leads into that communication again.
Yeah.
So
we also want to make sure that we are emphasizing the exciting little things that happen. Like I had a conversation with my husband and he took it really well. Like that kind of thing. Like, hey, I had a confrontation or we were struggling with something and I talked about it with him and I opened up and he understood. Received it well. Like we want to hear about that. Like that's
a communication win.
Yeah, it's a communication win and it makes you like, we don't need details. I mean, all of us love the tea, but we're we're pulling back on, or trying to pull back on that a little bit and make sure that we're talking about the bigger issue and the exciting things. Like, hey, we had this talk and went really well, and I feel really good about it. Like, I want to hear about that from you guys, because it's important for you to talk about and celebrate improvements or just things that make you happy. Like, for my birthday this week, my husband got me Legos and my family got me Legos. Like, that's so exciting. I love Legos, and they're Harry Potter Legos, so I'm like extra happy. And I wish I had like the $500 to get like the big castle.
Oh, I mean,
but you know,
we can pool our money together.
Yeah. It's living at my house. Big
Lego. That's fine. I don't want the responsibility of that, because I'll come in with Craggle.
Oh,
it's a Lego thing. You know if you know.
But yeah,
definitely celebrating. You know what? I'm an acts of service person, and you know, we had some big wins this week, and my husband's been really trying hard. He fixed our post last week on our porch. This weekend he put gravel all the way down our driveway. So
nice.
I really love those acts of service, and they light my fire. So those were really big wins the last few weeks. We've been really, home improvement, before winter comes, because we get hit hard out there.
In your little corner of Sultan.
Yes. So
I don't have to deal with
battening
that.
down the hatches.
I mean, we get the wind, but
the
not
wind.
The flood.
The wind. Shingles are going.
Yeah.
This way. The wind rips that way, right through the valley.
It's weird. It's weird that we get
little convergent zone at the base of a mountain.
Anyways, as we're digressing, we're gonna go back up. So we also talked about an assignment, and we gave everybody a worksheet to go through, some homework to go through. We both did it. But before that, we're going to read the passage that was the part of the homework, and it's Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. The woman who fears the Lord. An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night, and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it. With the fruits of her hands she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes a bed covering for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchants. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works be praised. And let her works praise her in the gates. So that's the passage that we wanted you to read in the homework. It was part of the study guide that we were looking at, and it went through several different questions based on those attributes of a wife. So we wanted to share how we evaluated
share
ourselves.
Our answers. Yeah, so the first one is, are you a trustworthy wife? And I would have to say yes.
Yeah, that's what I put too.
Very trustworthy. And then there's a need improvement category.
Oh yeah, it's like yes and then needs improvement.
And then it says, are you an asset to your husband? And I would say I could improve on that.
Yeah, I said yes. My husband works in a field that I know and that I've worked in before. So
That's
between his work, I feel like I can help him at home, but also give him ideas and structure at work too.
That's awesome.
So I said yes.
Cannot help Bo at work. It's a
Yeah.
heavy numbers.
Different.
I can smile and wave at that one. But
Yeah.
do you work diligently to make a home in which he can be comfortable and happy? And I would have to say that could always need improvement. I mean, we have a very happy home. Like, we had a really good family weekend this weekend. But I feel like it could always need improvement, especially in this busy season as we go into the holidays.
Yeah.
Because it's real easy to get wrapped up in all these things that we have to do, and it becomes real not happy.
Yeah. I said needs improvement too, mainly because I hate cleaning my house.
I do too.
So, a lot of times he'll come home to a messy home. And I mean, you have little kids.
Oh,
so
yeah. I mean,
your house is kind of always going to be a little bit insane.
Brushing your teeth with Oreos sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you clean one area and the kids just destroy it because they're playing and they're having fun.
Yeah, they
right?
live here.
I have a sign in my house that says the housekeeping style is best described as there appears to have been a struggle. And it's like the epitome of like my housekeeping style. It's a disaster. And anyone who comes to my house is like, yeah, it's a mess. It's lived in. It's just pretty normal for me.
But also memories are made here, and happy crafting, and just so much goodness. So much goodness.
So, I think just having a tidied house, like being diligent about having certain things tidied, is where I need the most improvement, especially our bedroom. I feel like that is something that everything gets dumped in.
Well, we all are in my bedroom right now. It is also a living room. So it is really, it's also a homeschool corner room. It's a whole heap of things.
Yeah, that's where most of our laundry ends up being.
Yeah.
And I feel like if our bedroom was regularly cleaned and organized, that my husband would have less anxiety going to bed. I feel like that's like one room that could use a little more improvement that isn't necessarily something I think about all the time.
Yeah.
But
well, that's one small change. You could just, instead of focusing on the whole house, focus on
just the bedroom.
Just the bedroom. And that's, these tiny little things that make such a big difference. What's the next one?
Are you careful and wise with money? I said needs improvement.
I mean, it needs improvement right now. Like our grocery budget, do we have one? No, because that went out the window.
Yeah.
With
When
these
did
prices.
that go out?
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah. I would like to say that is something that I would like to work on personally with my husband together.
Yeah.
I say that we both are independently well with money. We don't have, don't really argue that much about it. But I think as a family to sit down and really make a budget and for things that we want to save for, plan for, that could use a lot of work. So.
Yeah. My friend Kate Anderson talks about Dave Ramsey like all the time. And I keep thinking, a lot of people.
And our church, Crosswater, offered that
class, I think.
That free Dave Ramsey through the church.
Yeah.
That whole
thing. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I keep thinking that's like, I'm kind of starting to get into it because we're definitely in that phase of, hey, we want to get rid of as much debt as we possibly can over the next year. And so
like we drive one car right now for the last 2.5 years because that's a good way to save money. I don't mind, and I'm never going to buy a new car because they depreciate instantly. So and I have children, so
but needs money. But Dave Ramsey, I gotta try.
Maybe
be a little more focused
we'll
on it.
Yeah,
we should talk about. Maybe we should have Kate and talk about it.
Yeah, maybe that'll be another episode later down the road. But the next one is, do you take care of your physical health and appearance? My physical health, I'm pretty much always, if you know me, I'm like literally always talking about health. It is like my goal to like, I honestly could scale back on it because it gets to the anxiety point
Oh, yeah.
of health, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be so worked up about something because that's not healthy either, right? So, yes, that could use improvement for sure.
Yeah, it's something that I've started to focus on a little bit more over the last couple years. I was like, yeah, I really want to get in shape. I want to be in competing, like, physical competition, like not crazy competition, but I want to be able to run a marathon again, and I want to be able to do something.
You're training for one, right?
And well, I'm not training for it anymore, but
Yeah.
this summer I did run a sprint triathlon with my dad, and part of that was to help get my dad healthy, but also for me, I lost 70 pounds over 2 years, and so it's something I'm like still working on. But man, I really love jelly beans and Sour Patch Kids.
I love chocolate.
So,
Where did all the Reese's go?
And cheesecake. Oh,
sorry.
but so I have my vices.
Oh, for sure. The health thing in my appearance. Luckily, I have a husband who, I mean,
you always look cute. Everyone's always gonna say you look cute.
He's a no makeup kind of guy,
Oh,
so
mine
like
is
that
too.
kind of stuff. Tells me I look beautiful, in baggy sweatpants with my hair up, and I haven't showered in 3 days.
I'm pretty sure the first time I met my husband, I was in sweatshirts and like a cutoff t-shirt.
I met Bo in 3rd grade.
Oh yeah, that's different. So you probably had pigtails
in the driveway that we live in now. So,
yeah,
no, I was shooting bottle rockets at him.
Oh,
Roman candles.
that's nice. Yeah, we met in college, and we were at the very first time we met, we were at Cannon Beach, I think, for like a trip for the college, like our dorms, like the boys and girls dorms did like trips, and we were at a beach, and I'm pretty sure I was in board shorts and a tank top. I don't know. But my hair wasn't done.
Sounds
or
very
anything
2000s.
Like, and I like just jumped in a car with
some puka shells, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Or like one of those hemp.
Yeah,
I wore those a lot.
Hemp bracelets. Yeah.
But yeah, he's the same. He's the same way. Like he's never really cared that he doesn't like very much makeup on me. I've always been, literally my entire life, I want to be comfortable. So I wear a lot of baggy clothes, a lot of yoga pants, because that's where I'm comfortable. And
I have an unreal sweatshirt collection one.
I
I don't have normal shirts. I don't have normal shirts because I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Yeah, 100% of the time.
Yeah, even during the summer, I feel like you wear sweatshirts.
I do every day.
They're cute.
Yeah,
it's
cold
cute.
in the morning. I'm always cold. Okay, so the next one is: are you a giving person? And I said yes.
I said yes too. And when I think about it, I feel like I give a lot to other people.
That's where I was gonna lead. I give a lot to other people, but maybe not.
Yeah. Maybe not specifically to my husband. And I think that can mean a ton of different things. So like, am I giving him time with me? Like, am I giving him, I don't know. What other thing?
Well, like you said, like cleaning the bedroom, relieving the anxiety.
Relieving anxiety. Am I giving him enough attention, like physical attention? Am I, I don't know. Am I giving? So, are you a giving person? Am I a giving person towards my husband? Maybe
less.
Some improvement.
He probably, for me, I am a giver, and as like you said, I give so much to my kids. I give so much to other people.
I feel like if you asked our friends, they would say the same thing about both of us, I feel like.
But that also leaves not as much energy to give at the end of the day, because he is my safe place too. I'm like, I gave all day. So now I'm tired. Yeah. And he, he's very good at lifting me up in those moments too, though. So
I feel like they do the same thing, though. I mean, they give a lot at work too. I know my husband does that at his work too. He's super into pouring into people and loving on people, and he's amazing at that. And so he does it all day at work, and then has to come home and do it with his family too. And that can be hard. It can be really hard.
That's fair. Well, also switching the transition from work into family.
Yeah.
I know Bo only works downstairs, and so he hears it all day long, but also he has to turn off all those big number deals, and he has to turn that off, and just instantly, he doesn't get a drive home from work. He gets to walk upstairs. You're in it. They're screaming. They're already fighting. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the chaos. And so that making it easier just in those transitions too, because Bo got a new job last year, and it's been 1 year of transition, and I don't think he's gone to sleep before midnight. What can I do to help him in these times of these transition periods? In these transition periods and stuff. But the next one is, are you prepared for the future?
I said it needs improvement. For us, I think there's so many things that that we need to prepare for that we didn't really think about, especially when we had kids. And so I think it's something we're starting to work on, but we're not
just
quite
now
there.
We need a lot. I guess I didn't check but we need a lot of improvement in that just of the future. I'm very bad with future. I'm like, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
What are we doing in the next hour, and am I going to get through this next week? So especially with young children, the future is, we're trying to get, minute by minute by minute. So the future seems so far off.
Especially with young kids, but I feel it's important to think about, hey, what are we going to do in the next 5 years?
What are our plans? What are our goals?
I don't think I could think about the next 10 years.
I could not.
But maybe 2, maybe 5.
I'm going for 6 months.
Yeah,
6 months. I'm going to start with 6 months with just us in particular, because, I can say I'm going to do something every day, like write a prayer for my husband. And, I've done it 4 out of the 6.
Yeah, 3.
So, those little things. Okay, so the next question is do you make sure your family members have their needs met?
Okay, so when answering this question, are we talking about immediate family, or are we talking about family whole?
I would say immediate family. Immediate family for sure.
I would say yes.
I would say yes, because that's...
I feel like I give everything to my
2 a.m. as a person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour into them.
I definitely need to spend a little bit more time pouring into my husband in different ways, and this study is a good way for me to start thinking about that. But yeah, we try to make sure that our girls have everything that we never had. And
it's really easy to put the kids before our husbands. It's just easy because that's our job. That's what we're here for. Our job is to take care. Yeah,
and our hearts and our heads say to us.
It's just like, if their needs are met, I can't even think about my husband. I can't even fathom, because usually there's other needs that need to be met as well. So it's a trickle effect. Yeah. I probably have needs. He has needs, but I'm always kids first.
Yeah. Do you generally move in wisdom?
I mean, I hope so.
I think
I try to.
This is a tricky question.
Yes.
I said needs improvement because I feel like that can be, this can divulge into so many different rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And I think if we twisted the question a little bit more, to say, do we make decisions with wisdom?
We really try to. Bo and I are very calculated people.
Yeah.
I mean, for as many rash decisions as we make, we're pretty much very calculated. Like, our car broke. Do we have a new car? No. It's been 2 years with one vehicle. We're very
Yeah. I feel like in specific situations, we think and we make wisdom, like
wise choices.
And then in other situations, we don't. But I feel like we try to make the right decisions, and if it's a really hard decision, we take the time to really think about it and talk through it and talk through our anxieties and our fears and what options we could have. And we try to seek the counsel of people, especially our family. I have a super savvy mother-in-law who can get a deal out of literally anything.
I love that.
So when it comes to money issues and we're trying to make a decision and make the best decision, like a big money issue, we talk to her because she's
that's amazing. You have
super savvy about that kind of thing. And then there's other things, like if we're trying to fix something, we call my dad. you know?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I do all the time. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? Or mom, like I call my mom and I'll be like, I can't deal with this with my kids. Sometimes she just laughs at me because
they
she's
just
like,
giggle.
oh.
Full circle.
I also call my sister a lot too.
Yeah.
Or talk to my sisters, be like, hey, I don't know. I think I had like an hour conversation with my older sister the other day. Like, I don't know how to deal with this. What do you think? And she gave me some really good advice and prayed with me about it, and it was good. So
I've got some good people I can call too.
yeah,
I talk to my mom all the time.
yeah. I think we have a
Except
really
when
good
she's on vacation.
yeah. I think we have a really good circle of friends too, with so much
We really
diverse experience. Like, I talk to Amanda about a lot of stuff, and she has no idea because she doesn't have girls at all. And she just
I
has
talk to
boys.
Amanda about a lot of stuff. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
We love you.
But
I talk to her a lot about boy stuff.
Yeah,
And I find
'cause she has
her,
boys.
it's such this treasure trove of knowledge
Yeah.
about boys in different stages.
yeah, which is helpful.
But finding those people that really help guide you to make those good decisions too,
Yeah.
you know, that it's very, it was hard for me to join these groups. It was
Yeah.
hard for me to go to the
Oh.
first Sky Valley Moms.
Me
I felt
too.
so out of place, and I was intimidated
Keep going.
by a lot of the people, you know,
yeah.
just it's a lot of strong personalities, and you haven't been social for a long time,
Yeah,
and
this
you're
is
like in
true.
little kid world. It was hard for me to go to women's group at church
Oh
and
yeah, I struggled with
meet
that
up
too.
and just taking that leap, but it has come back to me in tenfold with the friendships and the relationships that
Yeah.
I've created over the past couple, especially the last
I feel
two-ish
like,
years.
Yeah,
The last 2 years have been like, I could have said I have this many friends on, you know, my hands, and
Yeah.
to the point where I'm like, wow, there's somebody that I could call
For
in every
anything.
corner, and
Yeah.
all these different friend groups, and I think that is so incredible because there's so much value in it. There's
Yeah, and they have different
perspectives on life,
perspectives and wisdom, and that's really important too.
and everybody coming together with the different backgrounds. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, okay, so the last two questions on the little quiz are you always loving and kind? And I said that this needs improvement because
Me too.
when my needs are not met, when I am overstimulated, I get real waspy with my words, and it really cuts like a knife. I'm not a very big person, but I have a waspy tongue. So that's where I could use huge improvement towards my husband, especially. And he is a words of affirmation. So those words in my tone of voice, especially my tone, I might as well come from an Italian household where we're always yelling. So
See,
I'm like, I'm not yelling. I'm passionate.
Yeah, I am Italian, so I've got that in me.
I'm going to stay in there.
I'm on the same playing field as you. I get really, like, as soon as I'm overstimulated or I'm tired, I get into sassy mode. A guy says that I have, like, different levels of Abby sass, and he'll be like, dude, you're in, like, level 3 of Abby sass. And I'm like,
just comes up the stairs and makes this face at me, and he's like, I can hear you stomping around.
I'm a tall person, and I'm pretty broad, and, like, I can intimidate people pretty easily.
Like, if you're angry at me, I'd be very scared.
And my husband will just, like, pat me on the head, and I'm like, I am not a little person. But yeah, I am definitely not always loving and kind towards my husband. I'm also not always loving and kind towards my kids, especially when I've asked them to do something 27 times. I think that's an all-around thing that I personally need to improve on, because I get angry really easy if I'm not regulating some kind of emotions. I need some kind of outlet, and it comes in different forms for me. But if I'm not using those outlets, then whew, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, especially with little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because, again, those minutes seem like years sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to get to the next minute.
The next hour.
Yeah. All right. And the last one is your relationship with the Lord alive, intimate, growing, and strong? And I said yes, because this is the strongest relationship I've had with the Lord in my whole entire life, is the last few years. And I not only tried to dig deeper into the Bible, dig deeper with my relationship with God, spreading the word of God, just, just all of it. It's the strongest it's ever been. Could it be stronger? Always, always. I learn something new every single day, especially from Abby and Amanda. I learn a lot. Okay. I didn't grow up in a household that I went to Awana. I went to church when I was little. Yeah. And then my parents got divorced, and then we never really went to church ever again. And I was one of those kids that always had a relationship with God. And then I would go to church with friends. I sort of just always had a personal relationship with God, and it just has only gotten stronger since having children.
Yeah, it's different when you're a mom too. Everything changes. I answered needs improvement. For me, I think that I focus on different things too often that I forget. I forget that, hey, my personal relationship needs to be better. Like, I should be reading my Bible more often or praying more often, because I forget about those things a lot.
Or praying for the everyday too, not just for when you need help.
Yeah.
Or, really, really
being intentional about praying for specific things and for your own relationship with God. I feel like it's funny too, because I'm so involved. I mean, I'm doing stuff with the church all the time. I run the VBS. I run the
involved in
school, and like doing all these things that are really great community builders for the church. And I lack, sometimes I lack that.
It's almost like a distraction sometimes.
With God.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
right?
It's almost like we're doing all these outskirts things, but am I doing the nitty gritty inside work? No, because I get caught up in that too.
So
being involved in a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
a little bit of this. It's good, and it's great to be around those people. But I mean, I feel like Colleen reminds me all the time. She's like, I'm doing all these things, but she'll be like, have you prayed recently? I'm like, thanks for that. I needed to hear that. Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Let's pray right now. Like Katie Day, let's stop and pray right now. And she just stops it right there in the track, and let's pray together. And I feel worlds better after.
Yeah, right?
Just those few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always room to grow.
Always room
to grow.
Learn. I mean, I've studied the Bible for a long, long time. I was a missionary, did all sorts of stuff. And I still feel like I'm learning new things about the Bible and things. And like during the sermon this Sunday, I was thinking about a person who's struggling with something, and how I could use the verse that we were talking about in the Bible to help her get through something. And I was like, I need to tell her about this. I have to tell her about this. Like, because I didn't even think about Colossians and 1 Corinthians, or 2 Corinthians. I was like, oh, I need to use this. Like, use this to help her understand something about the Bible. But
every day, and just this group, Sky Valley Moms, people who have come in and out, or there's been some core people that have been there for a little bit that I've been there, and you learn so much. Again, different backgrounds, different perspectives.
And we had a lot of new people this last week, and that was really exciting.
That was really fun. Yeah, and
so
good on you guys for being so brave, because it was so hard for me to step in that door.
Yeah.
And I did it alone too, so I didn't walk in with a friend, which can be super intimidating.
I walked in the back door because I just practically live there, but
Hello, we are here.
So, we're really glad that everyone's coming, and we're really excited to get to know everybody a little bit more, especially in our little small groups. After we did our little lesson and introduced everyone, we broke into these little small groups for prayer, and
we're hoping to sort of stay in those small groups, I believe, and really grow those relationships with the people that we're in the small groups with, and be able to touch on a more intimate level, where it sort of gets hard when
it's a big group.
When you have a big group like that,
it's hard to be vulnerable in a big group like that, because you're like, I don't know half of these women. And I don't feel comfortable talking about something that's so vulnerable and scary and to me, let alone these women who I don't know.
So we're hoping to grow in those small groups to where everybody feels comfortable enough to be, on a deeper level to talk about.
Yeah, different things that you're struggling with or want to improve.
Or celebrate.
celebrate.
We really want to celebrate, too, during this. The intentional 30 days of prayer, Abby had suggested it, and I was like, I am going to do that. So we have been writing 30 days of intentional prayer, and you know what? It has been so good for me personally just to jot all of that on paper.
Yeah.
And then to see it in front of me, and then to read it back and just be like, wow, how much I love my husband. And I would say just in the week of writing prayers for him that my appreciation for him and just my love for him has grown in a week. Did you think it was possible? No, but being really intentional about, because again, they get put on the back burner. Yeah. And when they're on the back burner, you're not even thinking about it. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I didn't even write all of the days yet.
It was not every day. Halloween was in there, guys.
Yeah. I thought about it every day, which I think is an improvement for me. I wrote 3 out of the, what day are we on?
I don't know. 5? I don't know what day I'm on. We're shooting for the best, guys. Yeah. The best of the 30 days. But.
So I think I wrote 4 entries over since Wednesday, which was good. And
the thinking about it, it has me thinking about it. Like, oh, I could write this in my prayer tonight. I could write this in my prayer. I want to pull that. I want to pray to God about that certain thing that's happened. And so it really does have that. So even if I'm not getting it onto paper that day, I'm saying those tiny prayers for him all day long, to where I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah.
Or like, wow, maybe stop and take a deep breath, and instead of under my breath, I could maybe, instead of breathing heavily like a dragon, I could say a prayer for him in that time, and that already has improved for me, at least in 1 week of just putting him at the top.
Yeah, I think
I see it coming back to me.
Yeah, I think I'm finding more ways to thank. Like, I'm trying to, in each prayer, I was trying to write, like, thank you, Lord, for Guy about this. Thank you that he does this, or thank you that he's this, or whatever. And I think it helped me, at least for this week, to appreciate my husband a little bit more, because I don't always think of the ways to thank him for providing, or for giving me a kiss, or, just like little things.
Well, slowing down and pulling all those good moments out of the day, rather than focusing on he left the toilet seat up and there's dirty dishes everywhere, or whatever it is that day that is under your skin. It really pulls the thing, and you're like, wow, he actually did 40 more things that, he only did these 2 bad things that I'm focusing on,
Yeah, it's a lot easier to focus on those than it is the special little things that we forget about, because again, they're mundane, but they're important.
But that's what every day is made up of those tiny little mundane moments.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
So I think that wraps it up probably for today. We'll be doing this again on Wednesday at Amanda's house, which is right there at the church at Mountain View.
And we'll be going through the chapter His Wife, which I think is the first actual chapter in the book. And if you have the study guide, go ahead and go through this study guide. If not, just do the worksheet that we gave you. If you need it, reach out to me and I'll send it to you. And it's not something that you need to share. It's something that can be just for you. But if you want to share it, we're more than happy to go through that with you, or in your small group.
Maybe we can talk about them in our tiny, we can talk about them this next week, our sheets that we did previously.
Yeah. So
the next upcoming one. But thanks for being with us. And
yeah.
Thanks for listening if you've gotten this far. And we're so excited to be doing this, because I think it's a really fun.
Yeah, it has. It's only episode 2.
Episode 2. We've already had so much fun doing it. So
yeah. Well, have a great day. And
have a good day.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday. I have like a